My name is Delthea Russell Mizik, and I am the proud mother of 9 wonderful children, 2 of whom I've birthed, and I'm also the proud wife of the Premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands, the Honorable Charles Washington Mizik. I've been in business since 2004, when I started my company, Yellow Butterflies, it was named at the time. And the business is an immigration consultancy, which I've recently changed the name to Russell and Associates. We are an immigration firm that handles all immigration matters. And during the whole process, I would have people ask me about doing various different things. Like I have clients who would have concerns about getting a lot of small construction work done. And so I decided to incorporate a company that offered those services. That was something that I had intended on going very big with, because there's a serious need here for it. But at the time, I didn't have the capital that I needed to set up that company. So the company still exists, and we do small odd jobs here and there. But I'm still, keeping it in operation, because later on I might want to expand into that area. And in terms of food services, I'm in partnership with someone. We share a company together that offer those services. We're just doing catering at the moment, but that is something that we are also looking to branch off into, having a real restaurant setup that you can get delicious cuisines. Right now, we haven't really put the name out there as yet, so I'm just wanting to keep it a bit low key. But I'm always looking for ideas and ways in which to expand my businesses and to do more things, to offer more services here in Turks and Caicos. So that keeps me going. Well, there's a certain time of the year that you see all these beautiful yellow butterflies flying around. And at one point I was driving down the highway and I saw so many of them. It was just so beautiful to see. And, I was actually at the time searching for a name for my company. And I was like, wow, that's it, because I just love butterflies. So and it kind of had a ring to it at the time, because it was different. So I've kept the name, because I decided maybe I might use it for something else later on. But for right now, I wanted it to be more of a serious company, so I changed it to Russell and Associates. That certification was required in the role that I held at the time with the human resources. I'm coming from a human resources background. And so I was required to get those certifications, but it does come in very handy with the work that I do now, because in addition to doing immigration services, I also offer recruitment services for a lot of my clients. And those skill sets, they really come in handy. When I moved to Choksan, we had a lot of issues with the boats coming into Choksan, the illegal migration of Haitian nationals, and they would come up into your backyard. They would swim through the sand and walk into your background. It became a safety issue. So I decided that we needed to, Choksan is one-way street, one way in and one way out. And so I just decided that we would need a way of communicating with each other. It's a small community, and so it was easy to do. So I started off by setting up a WhatsApp chat group and, added everyone from the community in the WhatsApp chat group. And it made it easier to reach out to them for various different initiatives. So basically, we set up the neighborhood watch group that I spearheaded, and that was facilitated by the Las Brisas restaurant, which is right at the entrance of Choksan, where we would meet monthly. And we had a committee set up that, we invited the whole neighborhood. They would come out and voice their concerns, any safety or security issues. Like I said, we set up the neighborhood watch, where we were able to go out and do checks on different, homes, making sure everything was safe in the community. And it came in handy for various different reasons. Having the community program set up, we were able to host events. We were able to talk about, setting up CCTVs that we did eventually do. Everybody pitched in and made their donation. And I must tell you, the community of Choxan is very closely knitted. We share everything in that community. If someone's vehicle is on the side of the road and you know that vehicle is strange to the neighborhood, you're gonna call the next person, and so those are the things that propel me to do this. And to share an incident that happened, I was at work in Grace Bay, and there were some guys in the yard doing some cleaning, but I had asked the helper a couple of days before to bring them, so I completely forgot they was coming. So I saw these guys walking around my house on the camera, and I put in the chat, can someone just check to see what's going on? Because I'm panicking now that maybe somebody's trying to rob my home. And so when I got home, finally, I had neighbors at my gate, and they were reporting on the chat and, letting me know blow what was happening. So it just goes to show you, the relationship that we have in Choxan as a community, all the initiatives we have. We haven't had meetings in a while, but everything is posted there in the chat. So you're alert and you know what's happening in the community. And I'm no longer in the community right now. I still own a home there, but I'm still in the chat. And, there's so much things that I wanted to see come out of this, but because having to leave, I got sidetracked. But there's so many things that's been a positive from setting up that. It's organization is key. Organizing yourself, organizing your priorities, making sure that all ends are covered. With business, for me, I have a lot of demanding clients who want stuff done yesterday, and I have a really great team who works with me and for me, and they do a really good job at staying on top of things that allows me to travel or to participate in different initiatives or different events. So it's important to have a good team, because the team can really make or break you. And then I'm really happy with the team that I have. They're very supportive, and it helps me to be able to balance all these different areas. Most of these, the events that has taken place in my life, becoming the student council president, and then going on and becoming Miss Turks and Caicos, these things happened at a very early age. We're talking about 16, 17 years old, and they have really, really shaped my life and the direction my life has taken since then. Because even prior to that, I've always had to, push, defend, even other people. And they say that some leaders are born, and then there's leaders who work at it. I think it's a little bit of both in me. It didn't come easy. So I think I was just kind of thrown into certain rules, and I had to either swim or sink. So having been, recognized as a student council president, I was elected first of all, and it gave me an opportunity to really showcase my leadership skills and building the confidence over time through trial and error, and learning what works and what doesn't work, and how to manage people. Those things were very, very helpful in learning that at a very young age. So even when I went on to Miss Turks and Caicos, I didn't really have a lot of support. My mother was out of the country at the time, so I was acting solely on my own. I was, a very young child, just 1 month out of high school, and I didn't really have that support. So I had to really step up to the plate, and I was competing at the time with much older ladies than myself who were college graduates, and these people were very established. Some of them had already entered the pageant before. So I had to really step up my game. And, you discover things about yourself. You discover things in terms of your ability to, lead and, just rise with the confidence, the level of confidence that's needed to be able to showcase whatever skills or whatever that's deep within. I've been forced into being the leader that I am. Like, I am not one to sit around and wait for other people to make decisions on my behalf. And if I see that people are dropping the ball and they can't make decisions that's required at the time, I will step up to the plate, because I know enough about myself that I know that I am gifted with a boldness that I can come out and say what I have to say and be confident about my beliefs enough to know that I have the ability to lead, because I am also confident in my ability to carry out any task, that's set before me. I'm no stranger to hard work. So if it means that I am going to have to do it alone to get it done, I'm going to get it done, and you have to be a person of, with the right attitude. You have to have the attitude that you are going to succeed no matter what. You have to be results driven. And all of these things I carry in all my various walks of life, whether it be in the role of a mother, a wife, a business person. I have to be able to, demonstrate my leadership abilities in all of those roles. So, sometimes, you go off of your mistakes, because you will make mistakes, and you learn from those mistakes, and you know how to do it the next time. And you learn not to leave things up to other people. You just have to always follow through, always check on stuff. So those are the confidence I've built over time in my abilities to do things and get things done. I had a situation where at the time I was in high school, and we were getting back from our break, and we were all rushing back to class late, and our teacher was walking on her way to the class, and she saw us. So she saw us coming into the class late, so she made everybody go outside. And while we are all outside waiting for her to let us back into the class, we were chit-chatting, and I of course was the one who she caught. And so she says to the young lady, "You guys get inside." And she left me out there to stand up by myself. And she said to them when they were on the way into the class, she said, "Oh, don't watch her. Her hair and her color is her passport to life." And that experience, at the time I didn't know it, but I really thank God for that experience, because it really changed everything within me. I did not want to be recognized or awarded or anything that was going to be positive because of my image. I wanted to show everyone that I had what it takes to represent and to showcase within me. My work would speak for me, and I was determined from that day that whatever I'm gonna get in life, whatever is going to come to me, I'm going to do it the right way. It's going to be through hard work. It's going to be through determination. It's going to be through whatever force necessary, other than me having to be given something because of the way I look. And it was funny that she said that, because I've never been privileged to have that, And so for her to project something like that onto me, she didn't know my background. She didn't know where I was coming from. She didn't know the many times that I would have to stay to people's houses and help them to clean and lift the buckets of water and wash the clothes and clean the house like the little housemaid. And she didn't know any of this. I've never had that, where my beauty was a passport for me, or my color, my skin color, and so I took great offense to what she said at the time, but it has changed my life. It has changed everything. It has propelled me, pushed me into, being a hard-working person, honest person, fair person, and those are values and qualities about me that I wouldn't trade for anything. I mean, I would rather to do it the hard way, the long way, than to get it done the easy way because of my appearance. And that has been my blessing and my struggle. So that has really changed my life. And I want to use this opportunity to say to teachers, you know, that child is going to grow up one day. Be careful what you sow into people because it can really make or break them. You have to be very careful what you say to children, you know. And I think it behooves all of us to, you know, look to inspire people, to speak life into them, to encourage them and support them rather than to demean them and degrade them, you know. It's so much more that can come of it. You know, I have also had the privilege of having wonderful teachers in my life who I thank God for, who've kept me on the right track, who've said some amazing things to me, who made me feel like I was a conqueror, who made me feel like nothing was impossible, you know, that I can do anything I put my mind to. And I thank God for those people in my life, you know. I mean, I guess it's a balance where I thank God for both for the good and the bad, because believe it or not, as much good was said, the bad was the thing that really pushed me because I really wanted to show that teacher something. And it's funny that I see her now and I just smile. I say, what does she think about me now? You know, it's just amazing what God can do. It's so funny because when I started high school, this is some of the things that I've never really shared with anyone. But when I started high school in the D stream. I knew I was smart, but I wasted a lot of time. And so coming around to the examination, I stayed away from school for almost a month. And when I say that, I was home pretending to be sick. I just couldn't be bothered. I had very serious anxiety when it came to examinations. So I really didn't put out my best. So when I got out to high school, and I discovered that I was placed in the D stream, I was completely embarrassed. I was mortified. And I was so embarrassed till I decided, you know, I'm not going to stay in this. So I made up my mind to start to take things seriously. And throughout my first 3 forms, I was in the D stream, and I was first every time. The only time I think I came third one mark sheet was when I was out sick, and I was really sick that time. And I came third that year. But when I moved into the 4th form, I decided I was due. My grades had gotten way better, and I decided to go into the pre-vocational program because I wanted to go into work experience, which I will talk a little bit about that. When I got into the pre-vocational, I started to really settle down and take things even more serious, and I was doing really, really good in school. And so we had this election that came up where I became the first elected student council president in the Turks and Caicos Islands. There was nothing of the sort at the time. And I won by a huge margin. So I campaigned. I really had to go out there and campaign. And I won. And I did a number of things, like we did some upgrades to our library. We honored our teachers. We did fundraising for different things that we needed in the school. So I was very active in that role. And at graduation time, I was sitting there and I honestly really did not expect anything at all. Okay. Because I was so busy organizing the graduation and the after parties and so forth that I got to the graduation late. I got into the restroom and I started crying, and one of my favorite teachers came and she's like, "Why are you in here crying?" She said, "You got so much awards to get. Stop crying." So she kind of cheered me up a little bit, and I went outside, and when I got out there, I got all these awards. My mother didn't even have enough hands to hold. I got most outstanding student in the English language, all these different awards. And one of them was the Governor's Cup Award for most outstanding student of leadership. I've just never really focused on the award part of it. I was just focused on doing, the job. Because again, I also had this teacher who told me that, this job is a very serious job. I have to take it serious. And and I had to do what I had to do. Like I said, I'm results driven. Like I like to see things get done. So I did what I had to do, and I was able to accomplish a lot of things. So it's really been a great experience. It's really been really wonderful getting that award. It has helped me. I continue to put it on my resume because I'm so proud of it. And so it just goes to show you, if you put your mind to something, you can do anything. You know, like I shared, I'm coming from a D stream to, graduating top of my class. And, so anything is possible. My grandmother was actually sitting at home listening to the radio, and she couldn't believe it, because everyone see me always out in the streets. They used to call me a street girl. They didn't think that I would even have time to sit down and study or pick up a book. But when everybody was sleeping, I was up working, which is how my life really is right now. I work when people are sleeping. It's only God. It's only God. I was actually sitting at home one day, and I was thinking about, all the children who had to be homeschooled and, not having the resources that they required to be homeschooled at the time. You know what we went through, what the pandemic was like. It was very difficult, and it was very difficult on the parents because a lot of the at the time I was working at the resort, and a lot of the hotels had to shut down, and they could only pay their staff so much money. So I just got up out the clear blue, and something just dropped in my spirit that I need to go and get these tablets. And at the time I was concerned about my spending, as everyone else was at the time. And I'm like, I don't have that much money, but I'm going to do this. God has dropped it in my spirit. I'm going to do this. And so because I had a relationship with the people at Kishko at the time, because we throughout the resort purchasing for various things, I built a relationship with them, as well as my own personal shopping. I built a relationship with them, and they were very helpful. When I told them about my idea to supply tablets to less fortunate children, they gave me a really good discount. And so I bought the tablets, and when I got home with the tablets, I bought, I think it was about 4 or 5 at the time. That's all I could afford. And when I got home, I said, but these children who I'm thinking of, they don't have any internet. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to go to Digicel, another one of the companies I've been affiliated with, working with, and I'm going to ask them to assist me with getting a discount on I think it was the My5s, they call it. So got the My5s that they could use the internet, okay? And so I decided that, just my efforts alone couldn't just do the job, because I really just wanted to buy them and give them to people privately and not share it. But then I said, if I share this on Facebook, then I can get more help and I get more people involved to give, more tablets. And that's what I decided to do. I decided to go on Facebook, and I decided to ask for help, ask people to help me in this initiative. And I did that. And I got great support. A lot of people who helped out did not want to be recognized. There were some people who did want the recognition, and I mentioned them. But there was people who didn't want to be recognized, and they gave. And even some of the elderly people who were not in position to give, they would also call me up and I have this $50 for the My5, and I was able to reach out and build relationships. And it's funny, something came out of that too, because those elderly people, I still go to them now and take them stuff, give them gifts, because I thought that in my time of need, or in my time of need for other people, they put out and they helped. So it became, a great initiative where, we go out and deliver. I would go out rather and go and deliver them personally to people who needed them. And it was out there on social media. So I don't know, apparently I was told by the Human Rights Commission that someone had, gave my name and said they would like for me to be recognized for my efforts. And so I gave out a lot of tablets that year, a lot of My5s, and I gave them to every island in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And so I'm really proud of that, you know, the kids got their gadgets to get online and do their online schooling, because that was important for me. I think for me, I regard education as something extremely important. I don't think that any child should be deprived of a proper education. And so that was very important for me to do that initiative at the time. I have a charity organization that's called Van Dan Helping Hands. Van Dan Helping Hands is a charity organization that's named after my children, Devin and Dania. Okay. And so I started this charity organization after the tablet, where we were giving out the tablets during the pandemic. And what this organization is set up to do is to provide electronic devices to students. My focus and my platform as the First Lady of the Turks and Caicos Islands is to focus on the youth. That is what I decided that it would be. And so in focusing on the youth, I've decided to establish a program within the schools, the high schools throughout the Turks and Caicos Islands, to place students from the third form level into work experience. Okay, I've shared several videos about this on the social media, and our progress and our photos and everything. And so with this charity organization, I'm excited to say that I have been able to get companies to partner with me. Numerous companies, most of the major resorts around here, the Grace Bay Resorts, the Heartland Group, the Seven Stars Beaches Resort, whereas they take students on. I mean, there's a lot of the medical facilities. You have law firms. First of all, I'm gonna just divert a little bit to just take you back to where it started from. So in my high school years, remember I talked about getting into the pre-vocational program, and I wanted to do work experience, where they allowed the students to go out into the workplace and get the experience and exposure on, you know, working in the actual work environment. And so I was able to do that. I was selected to work with the tourist board, and I had such an amazing experience there. It has certainly boosted my confidence in every possible way. And I going out into the workforce, I had no hesitation, because I had already had that feel, and I knew what the experience was like, and I knew what was required of me, and I was able to build that confidence. So when I thought about what I would do to give back, that was suddenly something was at the top of my list, because it had made such a huge impact in my life that I wanted to for others to experience it. So I got in touch with the education department. I partnered with them. I also partnered with the various high schools. I wanted to initially do it with all 4 high schools throughout the Turks and Caicos, but because it was, you know, most of the work was being done by myself, I had to cut down a bit to be able to be effective and efficient. So I was able to really place students from the high school in Grand Turk and also here in Providenciales. Now, what I did initially, I selected 5 students from each of the 4 schools. I used my own money for all of this. I traveled throughout the islands, and I met with the principals. I sent in information for them to select the most improved students. I didn't want to focus on the top performers. I wanted the most improved, the ones who were working hard and trying their best to get there. So they selected the 5 students from each school, and I would place them into the workplace. Like I said, I partnered with various different organizations, and it was based on the students' interests. So if they were interested in doing carpentry or plumbing or being a lawyer or a doctor, whatever area of interest, that is where I placed them in those workplaces. And like I said, I worked with the schools, the principals in particular. They gave me the students. I went and met with the students. I told them what I was required of them. They signed up all the registration forms. They had a contract. And so then the process came where we put them into the workplace. Like I said, I wasn't able to do South and North because I'm still wanting to do something for them, but I wasn't able to do it at the time because the program runs throughout the Easter break. And so I was only able to, so the first year I started, I did Provo. I did about 15 students. and I placed them all in the workplace. Now, how it works is you have a evaluation system where the student gets to evaluate the employee and the employer gets to evaluate the students. And after the 2 weeks process, they will turn in the evaluation sheets to us. We will assess it with the schools, and we will award them as whatever is necessary. We will reward them. We ask each of our partners, the companies, to give them a tool at the end of their session. There's an option for them to also give them a small stipend as well, but that's optional. But most of the companies, they opted to give the students a departing gift. So if they were working as a carpenter, they will get a tool to use to do their carpentry when they would have left the program. I'm very proud to say that we have had great success stories in this venture. The program is still going. This program and my role as the First Lady this coming year would be my final one, because then I want to do an awards program where we're going to have an awards ceremony where we'll honor the students as well as we'll recognize our partners who have partnered with us. And so, I'm very, very proud of, like I said, I'm very proud of this initiative. It is something that I'm passionate about, and it's something that I want to continue to do long after this role, if God permits, and, persons are still willing to partner with me. So I'm really, really excited about it. It's yielding a lot of great results. So one of the things I also want to add to that is I'm very proud also to say that my first set of students, the first 20 students, I was able to give them all brand new laptop computers. Also with the case, they were in the full Microsoft Works program for each of them. So I'm really, really proud of that, that I was able to partner with the CDB and give those out. So we're really, really happy about that. Whilst I'm a forward thinker, I'm very progressive in my thinking, for most of the time, I allow God to lead me. Whatever it is He dropped in my spirit to do, and I consult Him, He decides where I am headed. And so whilst I might have a lot of ideas running around in my head, I intend to pursue and perfect the things that I am now working on, rather than to and better offer a better delivery and service to whatever it is I'm working on currently. And that's my aim and goals for right now. But what is to happen in the future, I allow God to direct my course. So I won't be able to tell you exactly where I'm headed. My goals for right now is to improve upon what I'm already doing and expand as much as I possibly can. I think what really drives my passion is that I have been a victim, as well as my daughter has been a victim. We've both spoken out, openly about it, and it's not something that we intend to hide, because we don't believe in covering up. We believe in exposing. Okay, it's important that victims know that they have the support, that they don't feel that they're the victim twice. And I personally have a serious problem with that. If there was one thing that I could change in the world, it would be that, is that people find the courage and the boldness to go out there and share their story and to, share it without fear of being victimized twice. And we're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it, because we have been brainwashed to believe that if someone is abused, they must have done something to deserve it. And that is never the case. If it is for maybe one or two people, I just don't believe that it's the case for everyone. And so that is something that if I could change the minds of people, we know that only God can do that. It would be that. It would be that we show more empathy and compassion towards people who have been abused. And what propels me to go out there and advocate for those people is because I am them. I am them. I represent them fully and completely because I know what it's like. And he who feels it knows it. You're never going to understand or truly understand until you've been through it. And then you can really show true empathy. So I will always, and I wish it was something more that I can do. I wish I could clone myself to be more people, to do a lot more, but I always believe that if I can change just one person's life to make it better, then I would have done my part here on this earth. And that's my goal. That's my dream. Priority and organization is key. For me, I'm an extremely organized person. My family is constantly telling me about my being OCD. I am very attention to detail, and it helps me in my planning. It helps me, and like I said, I'm very results driven. I don't start anything that I don't intend to finish. So if I put my name on it, my reputation is on it, and I am going to see it through to the end. So it's a balancing act. It's not always easy. It's a challenge. Sometimes I take on things and I'm like, why did I do this? Oh my God, when am I going to have time? And, but if I have to stay up till 12 o'clock, and I tell people I work past tiredness, like, if I'm tired, I work until I'm no longer tired. Whatever it takes, I'm going to get it done because my name is on that. And it's important for me, if I tell you I'm going to do something, that you can rely on me, that it's going to get done. So it's a balancing act. It really is. It's not easy. And people see you going and you make it look easy, but it's really not. And it takes a lot of hard work behind the scenes. And like I said, I'm the type of person who works when you're sleeping because I'm a night owl. So when you're in bed making your second run of sleep, I'm working.
Midnight oil.
Yes, I am. A lot of the times. And I'm doing it. Sometimes I'm crying and I'm frustrated, and, I'm human. So, it gets challenging, but you get it done. We as women, we have a thing where we don't think about it. You just get it done.
Especially sulky women.
Yes, absolutely. Sulky woman is known for getting it done. You just do it. You get up and you just don't even think about it. I have to do it. I'm going to get it done. By leading by example. We often hear that a lot, to lead by example. But you have to step up to the plate. You have to show, the qualities of a leader. When we look around, I'm proud to say in Turks and Caicos, there's no shortage of that, especially as a woman. We have women are, holding top positions in this country. We have the governor, the deputy governor, the attorney general, Human Rights Commission, you name it. We hold a lot of top positions here. We have the strength, the mindset, whatever it takes in us to do it. And so for me, it's leading by example. I think that I try to share as much of my experiences that I can that works. Like, I don't hoard information. I believe that if something worked for me, I'm going to tell everybody who wants to know about it. And so, how to get it done. I think, sometimes we're very guilty of when we know how to do something because it worked for us and we're achieving something. We don't want other people to get to where we are, so we don't tell them. We don't show them the way. For me, that's important, that we share information, that we, let the other one know, okay, pull someone aside, say, no, sister girl, this is how to do it, show them the way. And I have been so blessed today to have had a true example of that, of two, Turks Island women in key positions that I needed something done today, and very young women at that who have helped me and just took the ball from me and just took it and ran with it. And I felt relieved to know that at the end of the day, I could rely on them and they were getting it done. And I was so blessed to have them. So we need more people like that. Those are the ways that I, want to show my leadership through mentorship with these young people. Like I said, I go into the schools, I meet with them. I talk about everything from grooming to hygiene to dressing for success. I mean, preparing some of the things that we also do when we go into the schools. I get all the heads of the department from the HR departments within the resorts to go with me to these schools. We do mock interviews. We show them the way. It's important for me to show you how to do it, to show you the right way. And so I want to really encourage most of our women out there, most of our women in leadership roles, to take the time, even if it's just one person, because to help one person change one person, you would have changed a village. You would have helped a whole nation. So that is where I lead from. That is my leadership style, to showing others the way. If I know how to do something, I'm going to tell you how to do it. It's no use to me hoarding the information. We're all passing through this world. Why not show? And if I show you the way and you get higher than me, then one day if I need you, can help to pull me up. But if I don't show you and there's no one up there to pull me up, then, I'm hurting myself. When I worked for the law firms, I had some younger ladies who worked under me in their roles, and I showed them everything I knew. I did from property law, immigration law, corporate law. I showed them everything that I knew. And when I left the law firm and I went to start my own business, it was so funny. I had to go back to them to incorporate my companies and do all that I needed them to do. And they were so happy to show me what I had taught them. They were so happy to show me that they were able to carry out those tasks effectively and efficiently. And I was so proud of them. And they reminded me that it was because of me taking the time to show them that they were able now to assist me. So, show people the way. That is my style of leadership. And I'm really happy to say it has really yielded some good results for me. Yes, absolutely. Hands down, number one, Rita Gardner. Oh, I've shared it so many times, as much as I can tell the story. Rita has been in my life from a very young age, and she's still in my life, very, very close to me. And she has taken me under her wings. Anything that she's a part of, she makes sure that I have some involvement, even up to this very day and this very moment in time. She, no matter what she's doing, I've never been a person into sports, and Rita somehow managed to get me incorporated in what she's doing in sports, and she's done a phenomenal job. She has a great legacy. She showed, like I said, she take the time to show me the way, and she's taught me a lot of things. She's pushed me to be where I am. She always encourages me, inspires me. I'm very inspired by her each and every time, because she has broken so many glass ceilings. I'm so proud of the work that she's done. I'm so proud and honored to be in her circle as a friend, because she's really poured a lot into me. And so I owe a lot of gratitude to Rita. Wow, I am faced with daily challenges, and I think that I would say in business, it's so funny because we're from a small country where we have we don't want to admit it, but there is a black crab syndrome. And I think for me, people look at my lifestyle, or they look at my work and my ability to gain the confidence of my clients and build my clientele. They tend to, think, oh, it's just a walk in the park, and they don't know the work that goes behind doing that. And so they try to set up traps. Like I have had a lot of challenges in that regard. It's sad to say, but that is where I face a challenge where people, you work hard, and there are actually people behind the scenes who try to stifle your growth and create stumbling blocks for you to have to go around and go the long way and make things so unnecessary, in terms of, achieving, your goals and stuff. And they don't know the hard work that you pour into it. Like I say, they see the glory, but they don't know the story. And so I've had a lot of, I'm constantly faced with it. But with all things, I try always to see the positive side to everything. I believe that everything that I face, be it good or bad, is for my good. And so I just ask God for the strength to go through it. Because it's not easy having a business in Turks and Caicos. When you look at all the monthly expenses, the overheads, it just goes on forever. And so in order to keep your doors open, you have to really work extra hard. You have to be able to keep, food on your table. People look at me and they think I'm so privileged because I'm married to the premier. I still have my life. He has his life. And whilst we work together, we still have to work separately. So, there are issues and challenges in those areas. And so far, that's the only challenges I can see. But if that's the only challenges I can see, and looking on the bright side, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Here's what I will say to that. I rely and depend on God for everything. He is my source. My strength comes from Him. Everything that I envision, everything that I carry out or I pursue, it comes from God. He drops it in my spirit what I should do, when I should do it, how I should do it. So I tap into that small inner voice that leads me. I pray a lot. I'm constantly before God, and so I am driven by the voice in my spirit. So whatever that means in terms of when I wake up that day and what I'm going to do or how I'm going to schedule my day or what I'm going to do in terms of business, am I going to, take this route to expand in this area, or if I should work to start a new initiative. There's a lot of things that I want to do in terms of, putting things in place so that I am more accessible. But I have to also be cautious because I don't want to overexert myself. I don't want to expand too quickly and then, not be able to offer the quality service that I offer. So, and everything I honestly, seriously rely on God for everything. My whole success, my whole being is through, God. And it just may sound, it may sound, for people who don't understand, it may sound like, how would you say, would it be a cliche? But it's real for me. I don't do anything unless He says so. And I'm very stubborn. I don't go against my spirit. Well, with everything, there's the good and the bad, the positives and the negatives. So I tend to really focus more on the positive, but it has been some challenges. For the mere fact that when my husband became premier, a lot of people who were my inner circle did not, I don't know if they didn't see me in this light or they didn't want me in this light, or, it was almost like it was too good for me, if I can say it that way. It was almost like I didn't measure up in their mind's eye of who this first lady person is supposed to be. And so, of course, it created insecurities within me, not feeling as if I am worthy, having an imposter syndrome. Like I just didn't feel like I added up to what their expectations were, what I should be. And so I'm just now becoming settled in my role, because I feel like it doesn't matter what I do. It doesn't matter how much I go out there and do or show support. I felt like it wasn't enough. It felt like I wasn't enough. And, again, having some talks with God and having some talks with myself, I had to realize that I had to love me just the way I am. I didn't choose this position, actually. God reminded me He chose His leaders. He prepared and He chose me for such a time as now. So accept me or not, I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. And so I can only be the best version of me. I try to carry myself because I see myself in this role now. And when you see yourself as something, you can be that person. And so I see myself as the First Lady of Turks and Caicos. I carry myself as such. Some of the things that I used to do, I don't do them anymore because I had to change. I had to conform to my role. Okay. And I do so with pride and with dignity. And I carry myself in the fullest and the highest regard, respect. And so you will respect me. You will, I am going to demand it because I'm going to treat you with respect that you're not going to have any other choice that you're going to want or feel it necessary to do the same. I respect people and I expect them to respect me. I love people. I'm a lover of people. I'm sometimes known for being a people's pleaser. And it gets me in trouble sometimes, but I have had many opportunities in this role. Such opportunities to showcase my talents through my platform, my abilities, the things that I can do. Still finding the inner strength within myself to do as much as I can. Like I say, if God calls me to it, He's prepared me for it. And so I do so with His grace. And I know that it's only His grace that allows me to do what I do. So I go with Him with the confidence that I know He's got me. He's never going to allow me, my enemies to have, or the people who are waiting for me to fall, who are waiting to see me make a mistake and mess up. He's never going to allow it, Over the years, I realized, looking back over my life, that He was preparing me all along. And it's so funny because I didn't see that at the beginning. I can now say that He's prepared me the way for me. And so He's given me everything that I possibly need. He's equipped me fully for this role. And so now that I'm understanding that more, I'm being able to really perform my duties in this role. There are times that it is rough because some days you have like 4 engagements. You have the children to go home and cook. I have to cook for my family. I'm running my own business. It's a lot. It's really a lot. And I try not to complain. I have my small circle of friends who I know genuinely wishes me well. And I go to them for support, for guidance when I need it. Rita is one of them. My mother, she's been amazing, amazing support to me. My children, my husband, who continues to inspire me and let me know that I have what it takes to do anything I put my mind to. And so, and just watching him do what he does, at 70 plus years old, he's still attaining more master's degrees. He's a life learner, and I inspire to be just that, a life learner like him. And I try to put out my best self. So it comes with great responsibility. Who much is given, much is required. It comes with great responsibility because sometimes you give of yourself, you give of your resources, you give whatever you can. And I try to do my best. And that's all I can do. Okay, first of all, I'm a Gemini, so I have 2 sides of me. The one that's serious, the one that's, more mature, and then I have the crazy, goofy side. My daughter and I are very, very close, so we dance and we sing a lot. We do a lot of crazy stuff together. We make crazy sounds, and so that. And then I'm a big movie person. Like I just love movies. I can sit there and watch movies. That's my favorite pastime thing to do. So I guess the fun fact about me is I really love traveling. I love traveling with my daughter because we act crazy together. She's like a mini me, and I have a ball when I'm with her. I don't know if really you can say that's a fun fact, but We do a lot of goofy, crazy stuff together. So what I want to say to that person, the person who's been abused, I want to say to you, when you look at the statistics of abuse victims out there, it's 1 in every 3 persons. So if you're sitting down in a group with 3, it's 1, 2, 3, and it's you. You're never alone. You're always, they say misery like company, but if you're looking to know that you're not the only one. There are so many people from so many different walks of life, from so many different tiers of life. From judges and lawyers and doctors, people who you wouldn't believe would subject themselves to abuse. You didn't choose this for yourself. You wanted better for yourself. But you so happen to be in a position where you're compromised, you're being abused. Come to terms with that. Know what is abuse. Research if you're not sure about you being abused. It's never okay for someone to abuse you in any form. They have so many forms. For me, it started out verbally, and then it ended up physically. And from verbally, that's what it almost always progressive into being physical. And so I'm going to say to you, get help. Find someone that you are comfortable with, someone who not just to talk to, but who is going to help you to take the required action to get the help that you need. But in all you do, get help. Get help to get out. Because every time you think you stay in and you're thinking that it's going to get better, it's only going to get worse. It doesn't get better. The only way it can get better if the person gets the help that they need. And more chances than not, they don't seek the help because most of the time they don't see anything wrong with what they're doing. Perhaps they may have come from a broken home or where someone would have done it to them. And that is not your fault either. That's not your problem. Your problem is the only job you have is to get help. And getting help, find the professionals. Go out there, seek a doctor's assistance. Seek persons in the field that deals with this, from the social welfare. The police departments have persons now who deal with these stuff confidentially. So you don't have to worry about being compromised or being further abused for you taking action. But don't sit quietly and suffer in silence, because there is help. There is help out there. I talked earlier about becoming the victim twice. Yes, look at it from all angles, that you may become the victim twice because people are going to see it in a different light. But when it comes to being life-threatening, it doesn't matter how people see it. For me, it didn't matter to me. I thought about being embarrassed. I thought about, stuff getting out there. But guess what? So many people are going through so many things. They are no position to judge you. They have no room to judge you. And so, don't let your life be miserable. Stay in an abusive relationship because what you think people are going to think of you. They're going to think it anyway. The point is that you need help and you should get it. And my situation, I share my story about my own personal abuse because, I saw it coming gradually because, like I said, it was verbal abuse. But then, when I recognized what it was to an extreme where I had no other choice but to get help. And it was broadcast all over the news. And what it did, it ran its course. And that's how life is. It's going to run its course. People are going to talk. But at the end of the day, I got out. I got the help that I needed. And I don't care what people say about it now. I don't care how they feel about it. The only thing that helps me even more to heal is to share my story, to help other people who are going through it. And when you look at the aspect of child abuse, child molestation, all these different things, all of these things happen in our country, but we're too busy covering up because of fear of being ashamed. Being, exposed, and how people are going to see you, and what it can do to you. What it really does for you is get you the help that you need. And that's the important part. And so parents, pay attention to your children. Pay attention to who you're leaving your children around. Pay close attention. Because sometimes, nowadays, it's not men alone who are molesting girl children. There's women as well. You have to keep your eyes open. You have to pay attention to your children's behavioral patterns. And when something is off and something is different, if you cannot get them the help, find someone to get them the help who they will open up to and share and get them the help that they need. So many irons in the fire. So many irons in the fire. And what has helped me, I'm going to share this one, is really setting up a vision board. And I laugh now because I started this vision board in 2019, and I look at it now and I post it where I can see it every day. And I look at it now and I'm like, wow, look at God. Everything that I've envisioned without even knowing it, I was attracting to myself. And I also believe in the laws of attraction as well. I believe that what you put out there, what you ask God for, He will give it to you if that is what He has in store for you. So it's according to His will and His purpose for your life. And so most of everything that I put on my vision board, I'm happy to say in this year, I would have, by next year, end of next year, God's willing, I would have accomplished most of it, if not all. Really excited about that. I wanted to share that with you. But also what's ahead for me. What's ahead for me? So much wonderful things in store, because God just keeps telling me that He's going to blow my mind over and over again. I love traveling. I love meeting people because there's so many possibilities in that. But I intend to grow my business. I'm working hard at that. I intend to, achieve by end of next year my master's degree. I'm actually working on it right now. I don't really like to put things out there until it's completed, but I'm happy to say that I'm working very hard behind the scenes on doing just that. And I know my graduation will be soon, and I'll be showcasing those photos for you, just to let you know that you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it too. So that's part of it. My book will be released in 2024. I'm really, really excited. I actually have 2 books. I'm not going to share too much about that because I like to show and tell. And so I am very excited about my books. My books is really taking me back in time. It's really showing me a lot of things about myself. But one of the things I'm proud to say is making me to know that I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so I'm really, really happy about the possibilities that's out there for me. There's so much in store. I'd rather to show and tell, but I'm really, really excited about this coming year and all that it has to offer, because I'm working on some big things. I'm working on expanding my program. With God's help, I'll get the support that I need, and I'll be able to do more and more things to touch more and more lives. And that's my goal. That's what I want to do, touch lives, one person at a time.